Hello and welcome back to another episode of Into the 99, where we've got 99 cards, because Commander's number one. I am one of your hosts, Daniel. I've got the boys with me today. I've got Sherman and Slothy. Sherman, how you doing?
I'm so tired. After this, we're gonna record one more and then off to work I go again for 4 weeks straight. Yay!
Never ends, right?
Never ends. Probably another 2-3 more weeks of this, and then I get a break.
True. The post stuff might be over, though.
Yeah, might be. But lots to talk about today. How about you, Daniel?
Good. Busy. I bought a Legion Go yesterday, and I want to go play on my Legion Go. I never really get time to play games because I work so much, so I brought something that can make me play games at work. So I will let you guys know next week-ish how it is. But it seems really fun so far. As I said last time, I like Path of Exile 2. I wanted something that I could play Path of Exile 2 with, so I got to figure out how to get all the keyboard and mouse setup stuff going. Then I can play some League of Legends in the truck, just really raise my blood pressure.
Oh, good golly.
I lose it out of shipping receiver. And Slothy, how are you doing?
I'm not too bad. It was a fairly easy week, finally back at work, which is nice. Yeah, that's really about all to report. Went to see the new Lord of the Rings movie last night, and that was pretty fun.
The animated one?
Yeah.
Nice.
It looks good.
Yeah, it was really good. The only really gripe that I had was the dialogue was clunky sometimes. But other than that, it was phenomenal.
I find that with because animated, right? I find just a lot of the voice acting for really good actors just doesn't translate wonderful to an animated movie.
Mm-hmm.
There's I've been watching. I like musicals, so I've been watching a bunch of Has Been Hotel. I really like the musicals because I like Alex Brightman a lot. And the girl who plays Rosa in Brooklyn Nine-Nine, I can't remember her name, but she's. Do you know who I'm talking about?
Stephanie Diaz.
Yes, she's a great singer, but she's one of the characters in it. And whenever she's talking, I've found it just so clunky and awkward. And she's not like that when she's actually acting, right? So it's it's such a weird difference. Man, I love Has Been Hotel. Really good songs.
You like that? They also have the other one with Hell of a Boss.
Yeah, I haven't got to that one yet.
Yeah,
I really liked the Beetlejuice musical, and that's what I found Alex Brightman in.
Mm-hmm.
And
I want to watch that.
I want to go to that actually. It's coming out here soon.
Yeah, in next year.
Let's go.
Or we just a month away, pretty much.
Into the 99 does Beetlejuice. That would be a secret lair I would enjoy.
Absolutely.
They kind of did it a little bit with the thrice named whatever card from Duskmorn.
Which one was that?
It's meant to be a play on Beetlejuice.
Oh yeah. Okay, I know which one you're talking about. I don't remember the card, but yeah, I know what you're talking about. Looking it up now?
Yeah, I'm trying to find it. MTG Beetlejuice card. Yeah, because there's a card called Say Its Name. You pay one in the green, mill 3 cards, then you can return a creature or land. Exile it and 2 other cards named Say Its Name. Search your graveyard, hand, or library for whatever.
Canuck.
Pardon my language. Sorry. It's early. Let me. Beep, 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 beep. Whoops. Sorry. I don't talk like that. Who's that for? Alatanok, yes. Thrice called. And it just, whenever it becomes a spell of ability and opponent controls, draw a card, discard it, return target land from your graveyard. They didn't do a great job with it, to be honest.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
But, anyways, we are talking we're talking about favorite cards. Spoiler alert, Alatanok is not one of them.
And if you hear any of these favorite cards, you can hit one of our sponsors up for these cards, Daniel.
Oh, yeah, go to housecards.ca, promo code IT99, fast shipping. Faster even now that Canada Post is going to be back to business. If you want nice cheap shipping, get to work.
They should be. They said they're intervening, right? So I kind of feel sorry for the Canada Post guys, but at the same time, it's been a month long and they're so far apart for negotiating.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I was gonna say just get back to work. House of Cards does not endorse this. No, housecards.ca. They are just a great business to work with. You get a discount at checkout. It supports us. It gives you price off. There's no losing in it. So again, housecards.ca, promo code IT99. And there's a lot of really, really cool cards. I think we're all going to have pretty different favorites. I think we're all just kind of round table it out a little bit and see what everyone likes.
Yeah.
But let's who wants to start us off with some of our favorite cards of 2024? And there was a lot.
There was a lot of cards that were released. Like, we're talking obviously new cards here that were released within the year. So, and the sets go from like what Murkoff Manor, Fallout, all the way down to like Foundations. Like, there's so many.
Yep.
So, but like my list, I don't know what you guys. My list consisted of things that I really enjoyed and things I hated going against. But I think
like
other people
that.
would enjoy a lot.
I like that a lot, actually.
I'll start off.
Yeah, you start us off.
Okay, the first one I'm gonna start off with is called Giggling Skitter Spike. It's 4 mana. It's from the Duskmourn House of Horrors Commander. But it's basically artifact creature for 4 mana. It's a toy. It's a 1/1. It has indestructible, which is so annoying. Remember how I say this is more and more common? We have to have exile. This is one of the reasons why. Okay, when Giggling Skitter Spike attacks, blocks, or becomes the target of a spell, it deals damage equal to its power to each opponent. And it has monstrous 5 for 5 mana. This is such an annoying card. Such an annoying card.
That's pretty rough.
Like,
any
I've almost died to this so many times.
Any spell is rough. If it was spells opponents control, that'd still be pretty good, but that's rough.
That would be fantastic. But the fact that you can target it yourself. So it's like, okay, like it's a 1/1 right now. Let's giant growth it. Okay, so you target, so everyone takes 1 damage. Now it's a 4/4, right? So, and then you attack, and now everyone takes another 4 damage from the attack, and whoever's attacking can either like block or whatever, but and that's indestructible. And if you try to do something to it, you still take more damage. It's really crazy. And like, it's not that expensive. Like, it's a pricey card, yet not. It's under $10. Places have it anywhere between $6 to $8 normally. I've seen it lower at times, but yeah, and especially during the holiday season, you know, if your LGS has a sale, hey, you know what? This might even drop under $5.
Holding value like that and having something nice in the rare slot to crack too is good with all these sets.
Yeah.
Yeah, that seems like a mean one.
This is such an annoying card.
Yeah, absolutely.
You want to?
Who wants to go next?
You know what? I'll go next because there's one I want to talk about. I really, really, really like the card Perch Protection. Perch Protection from Bloomburrow I thought was really, really cool. It's such a unique and strange mechanic of that, the gifting an extra turn to get the extra ability. I think that's really, really cool politics. It's a very, very nice way to take a player out and stuff. Also give yourself the protection, and it just does a lot. So at like 4, 2 white, you can gift an extra turn. It's an instant. You create 4 2/2 blue birds with flying. First off, even just at 6, 8 power of flying blockers instant speed is a pretty phenomenal card. That's pretty decent. If you're in a deck that has any token generation or doubling, like 6 mana would make you 8. That's pretty crazy, right? But if you promise the gift, you say, hey, Sherman, take an extra turn and kill Slothy. Smite him. All permanents you control phase out, and until your next turn, your life total can't change, and you gain protection from everything. Exile it. I really, really like it. I don't like seeing Teferi's protection in every deck. You know, it just I at least think that Perch Protection is silly. I think it's more political. Like I said, I love every part of it, from the art, from the fact that you're making yourself some new last minute blockers, the fact that you don't have to phase out if you want and stuff. You can just use it as a make blockers swing out and kill things, right?
Yeah.
I just I'm a very, very big fan of Perch Protection. It's been one of the cards that I just keep every time I see it. I tend to pick one up. It's pretty cheap. It's like a $5-ish card. Like you can't really go wrong with it. And I find that it's just a great card to tone your deck down a little bit, but still have that same. You can still have some good power in the deck, like you'd like, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, this one was very, very close to making it on my list for today.
Man, it's a good card.
It is a very, very good card.
I wish it was like 5 mana, then it's definitely more playable. 6 mana is like hard to keep up at times.
Well, the thing is, though, right? A lot of people use Teferi's Protection is never really used early game. I never see like a turn 3 Teferi's Protection, right?
True.
I see it when you're trying to swing out and kill me. But if I know like it's like a 6 mana instant, 7 mana instant, we're so used to seeing people hold up like Psych Rift mana, unfortunately. Right? But like it's I don't think, especially with how, personally at least, especially how I've been building lately, I've been jamming rocks into everything, right? Like I keep using mana rocks to offset like some of the more expensive pieces. So a lot of times 6 mana is not really that bad for me.
True, yeah.
And it's like one of the only instants I put in decks, so it doesn't matter what it costs, it evens out. Let's hear one from you, Slothy. What are you feeling?
Sure. My first one here is Abstergo Entertainment. It's a legendary land from the Assassin's Creed set. You can tap for colorless, pay 1 and tap it for 1 mana of any color.
You're gonna have to spell that so I can pop that on screen.
I got it.
Thank you.
I got a screen over here. I need the spelling. I'm so sorry.
Okay. ABSTERGO.
There we go. We found it. We're good. All right. We made it.
Do we have the chat open? I have everything thrown in there.
No chat open for me.
Okay.
What is the chat?
But yeah, I can tap for colorless. You can pay 1 and tap it to add 1 mana of any color. But the big one is you can pay 3 and tap it to exile it and return up to 1 target historic card from your graveyard to your hand, and then exile all graveyards. Almost everything is historic nowadays.
That's really good.
True.
So being able to bring something that got targeted back and then kind of Bajuka Bog everybody, I find that awesome.
The recursion built into a land is phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I'm a massive fan of how they did this one. And it's also very flavorful with Assassin's Creed.
Fair. No, I agree. Like a lot of things are historic now, and like the fact that you get a Bajuka Bog everything is really nice.
Yeah.
So
it's nice to keep.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say it's nice to keep those graveyard people in check.
All right.
I don't know what you're talking about. Remember, you said that. So if I pull this on your doctor deck, you can't be mad at me.
That is true.
Yeah. It's your fault.
You deserve this.
Yeah. All right. Let's go on to another one here. So what's a fun one? Oh, you know what? From a set that I did not care much for, but it seems most people didn't, but I think there's still some banger cards there. Final Showdown from Thunder Junction. So Final Showdown is a white card. It costs 1. It is an instant. It has spree, so it has that plus sign on it. So you can choose 1 or more additional costs. So the +1 for it is all creatures lose all abilities until end of turn. This is something I love because it gets rid of the indestructibility.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Well, on top of that, for another +1, choose a creature you control. It gains indestructible until end of turn. So make sure you don't choose both of those though, because and then for 3 and double white, you destroy all creatures. So it's like a 6.
Really quick, the sprees go down in order. That's how they resolve. So it loses all abilities, then it gains indestructible. So you're
so it's timestamped. Yeah. So, but still, it's fun. Like the fact that you can get rid of everyone's indestructibility and destroy all creatures after that is what I really like. So it's not an exile effect. So things are going to the graveyard, and if you are playing something that is graveyard centric, you're still fine, and you're still finding ways around people's indestructibility.
Yeah.
So
I like that one a lot. That's a good option. The spree cards in general, I thought were pretty. I think they're pretty interesting. I hope they bring them back as more of a recurring like theme.
Yeah.
I think that they do a lot of like cool stuff.
Yeah, like I hope they do bring it back in another set. I don't know how many people want them to go back to Thunder Junction just because the set wasn't really well received.
Terrible.
Yeah, like if you look at the numbers, it didn't do well. But like if they come up with like another plane and they throw in spree, hey, you never know, right?
Well, especially now that we have like the ability for them to go plane to plane. I would love to see Foretell somewhere else, you know?
Yeah.
Right? I like it. It's a nice one. Let me pull one of mine here. We have our Doll Maker's Shop. I love this card. It is very, very cool. The, where's my, rotate my card. There we go. Now I can nice and read. Doll Maker's Shop. It's 1 white. Whenever 1 or more non-toy creatures you control attack a player, you create a 1/1 toy. I like it. Again, nice little artifact and like token generation. Pretty cool. And then it has Porcelain Gallery, which is 4 double white. Creatures you control have base power toughness equal to the number of creatures you control. The room mechanic not using the stack is pretty interesting because it's very easy to dump this out early, and people basically have to remove it. You can't leave a power toughness enabler alone in a weenies deck. You know, like it just like you have it's again. I run this in Rigo. I've spoken about Rigo at length. It's I'm a big fan of it. Yeah.
Oh, your Rigo decks.
Yeah. Oh, so really quickly, I was going to say, so far, very interesting that most of our favorite cards are like, we've got out of the 5, 3 of them are white cards already, and everyone's like, white sucks always.
They've been powering white like crazy. Let's face it.
They've been giving them heat.
Yeah, a lot of heat. Because people dumped on white for so long. Wizards just like, here, just be quiet. Here, take more stuff.
Yeah, there definitely seem to be overcorrecting.
But that's the nature of it, right? You know, like you're gonna have power creep everywhere you go. Like, look at Fell, Fell, just simple, right?
Yeah.
So it's just destroy. It's 1 in a black, instant destroy target creature. It's just a better version of Terror.
Yeah, Fell's good.
So so it is what it is, right? But that's where you're getting stuff like that from, right? So, anyways, whose turn is it?
It's Slothy here.
All right, let us keep the white cards coming. I've got Unwanted Remake. It's a single white. It's an instant from Duskmourn. Destroy target creature. Its controller manifests dread.
That's great.
I am a massive fan of this. Being able to get something off the board. The 2/2 doesn't really make a difference, and it's even more fun if it is a creature and they can flip it up later.
Yeah.
And it's very tongue-in-cheek with how a lot of people feel about a lot of modern horror movies.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think everything about it is perfect.
That's fair.
I got to put that on my list of ones to get. That is a phenomenal uncommon 35-cent card. And you're also getting the top deck control, right? So if somebody does that, like the classic, like, oh, well, I'll mystical tutor to the top at the end step, and then you just blow a creature of theirs up, and their Psych Rift is now a 2/2.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Or any kind of like worldly tutor, vampiric tutor.
Yeah, just any deck that is trying to stack the top, right? Like there's a lot of things tutor to the top, brainstorm kind of things. Like,
yeah,
this is great against the Aminatu deck where they're trying to miracle things.
Yep.
You know what'd be funny? If you're like, hey, Daniel, I'm gonna Scheming Symmetry with you. We both get a search, and then like, oh, before I'm done, Daniel, Unwanted Remake. I destroy one of your creatures.
Rampant disrespect. you especially if you used it to go Scheming Symmetry to get the Unwanted Remake and then made yourself draw a card.
And then do it.
Rampant disrespect. Hilarious though. That's so funny.
But like, you're grabbing a card that I know you really, really want or need, and I'm making sure that I get rid of it.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
Oh, disrespectful. Hilarious.
Mind games. So, speaking of mind games, you know what's a good fun card that was in my top list is Prisoner's Dilemma, because this is a mind game. Okay, when we first saw this, I thought it was hilarious because it's all about game theory. Okay, so Prisoner's Dilemma. 3 double red. It's from Murders at Karloff Manor commander set. Okay, it's a sorcery. Each opponent secretly chooses silence or snitch. Then the choices are revealed. If each opponent chooses silence, for each opponent chosen silence, Prisoner's Dilemma deals 4 damage to each of them. If each opponent chooses Snitch, Prisoner's Dilemma deals 8 damage to each of them. Otherwise, it deals 12 damage to each opponent who chose silence and has a flashback of 7.
That's silly.
It's a fun, silly card. The damage is not a big deal, okay, unless, like you guys like kind of snitch on each other. But like, it's not a big deal, but it's just fun, and it creates chaos, and you create enemies because it's like Slothy, you said you're gonna choose this, but you didn't. What the heck? Now I'm gonna spend the rest of the game just targeting you because you hurt me or screwed me over because you lied.
I'm coming for you.
Yeah. So, and that's the thing. Like I said, the damage doesn't really matter. It's just the fact that if you guys, everyone can talk to each other, but the moment someone like breaks that promise, everyone's after that one person.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's a fun card.
I like it. I've got to. I have to make sure I don't do this entire episode of just me naming Bloomborough cards. But man, do I like Bloomborough. It's another gift one. Wear Down is one of my cards of the year. I think that just for such a cheap piece, it's so good. I wish it was instant. That would make it so much better. But again, still nice removal. Wear Down is 1 in a green. You can gift a card, which again, nice way to make friends. I like the gift mechanic in general, like group hug player at heart. You destroy target artifact or enchantment. If the gift is promised, instead you destroy 2. That's great. That's so easy to make a deal with. Like Sherman says, hey, I need to get rid of this. You know what? You owe me a favor later. I'm going to give you a card draw. We're going to blow up 2 of these things.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it also does kind of, hey, Slothy, I know that your card's annoying, but like, I got to get rid of your doubling season, but at least I'm going to give you a card draw. So chill out a little. Whoa, Slothy, chill, Slothy. He's got a gun. It's I'm a big fan of the gift mechanic overall, and Wear Down just had to be on my list personally.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the gift mechanic was a lot of fun.
Yeah, Bloomborough was one of the best sets this year. Let's face it.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
one of the best sets of all time.
Like it felt like we're back into what Magic was, right? We don't have like cities or cowboys or anything. It's like all animals, fantasy, and whatnot. They had great mechanics. They had a gift mechanic, the offspring, things like that. Mm-hmm. Wonderful cards, fantastic artwork, and it was fun. Mm-hmm. It was super fun to play.
Agreed.
Slothy, what do you have for us?
All right. The next one that I've got is also from Bloomborough. It's from the Commander decks. And let me preface by saying 2 things. I feel like Dan has this on his list as well. And I did not like this deck. But we've got Miss Bumbleflower.
Yeah. I love
because
Mrs.
as a card, Miss Bumbleflower is amazing. It's 1 green, white, blue for a 1/5 legendary rabbit citizen with vigilance. Whenever you cast a spell, target opponent draws a card. Put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. It gains flying until end of turn, and if this is the second time this ability has resolved this turn, you draw 2 cards. We have been talking about this card since, maybe January, and when it was revealed, and it's just been so much fun to play around with. There's so many different ways you can get at with it, and make some friends, make some enemies.
I have a lot of very distinct Mrs. Bumbleflower decks.
Yes.
I've got one. I don't think you guys have seen it. I call it my Charming Mrs. Bumbleflower, and it's all the like piety charms, like those kind of charms. Yeah. Piracy charm. It's all just the charm cards silly, so that I can trigger that draw ability so much. I really, really like Mrs. Bumbleflower.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. I think all told, my favorite commander that was released this year.
Fair.
And also the art is beautiful.
True.
Yeah, they've been doing really, really well on the face commanders, I have to say.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah. I really, really want more of the anime artwork. You can't find that card anywhere. It's so expensive. You could probably find it at houseofcards.ca. Promo code IT99. I'd probably find it there. To be honest, I haven't looked. I should. Sherman, what do you got for us?
You know what? Let's stick with the Face Commander theme here. All right. This one, I have to say, I was able to finally pick up at the face-to-face event. So, and that's going to be Omo, Queen of Vesuva. Okay. Omo, we actually did a deck tech on this. So, and you know what? I got the deck. I played it out of the box. Just raw precon. It is so fun. Like, the fact that you can make creatures and your lands into every type. Like the fact that you make your lands every type is really, really, really fun.
Mhm.
Okay. Let's just say that. The only disappointment I have is the fact that they have an infinite combo in the precon. That is the only problem I had.
Yeah.
But other than that, this is a really fun commander. Like, I played it with my play group. I played it like a few times raw, and it just dominated. It was fantastic. And then I made modifications to it, and it's almost unstoppable. And this time I did not make it a budget. Like, it's not that budget, but it's not super expensive. It's like $250. It's crazy. It's so much fun. So, but yeah, like one of the things I love about it is, like I said, the fact that you're making your lands every type. So, like an Urza's Tower, once you drop it out and you put an everything count on it, now it taps for 3 by itself because it's a mine and a power plant at the same time. Things like that.
Interesting. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
It's
so
really
crazy.
fun to play around with the locust things, the tap for 1 of each locust you control.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I highly, highly suggest anyone who likes like doing things where you have different creature types or land types and likes to play around with that to pick up Omo. It's so much fun. Like, the fact that deserts matter is so crazy.
True. I really liked the Yuma deck, to be honest.
I haven't seen you play it yet, so like, because you got that when we were in Red Deer.
Like the olds thing, we did like a little like convention panel. It was a lot of fun, but I think that deck has like 51 lands in it. It's so fun. It's so silly how many lands I have in that deck, because you just care about lands going to the graveyard and the number of lands you control, right? So discarding lands and throwing lands out doesn't matter. Yuma's really, really cool, but Yuma's not on my top.
But it's fun.
One of my
No, I was just going to say, it's interesting for you because traditionally, you play between 32 to 33 lands in your decks.
33 every deck, no matter what. Unless they give me 102 sleeves, then it's 35. No, it's 33 always. It's always 33.
It is still 33. Those extra 2 cards are non-land.
Yeah. Those are the ones I take out of the deck when people call. So I like to draw everything. Everything draw is always good for me. So Homunculus Horde has to make it onto my list.
Oh my god.
I think it's such a cool little card. It's a nice little budget option. 3 and a blue. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, you create a token that's a copy of this creature. I have an entire deck like based on that. It's Min and Wily. It's as soon as I saw this, I was like, oh, this is like just like Min and Wily bait for sure. So I was, it's everything. It gets so good, so fast. It's an immediate removal target.
Mm-hmm.
It's the artwork on it is fun too.
It is really fun. Little Fibblethip looking boys.
Yeah, a horde of them.
Yeah, but it's like, even if you drop this down, you drop like a Brainstorm, you suddenly have 2 of them. If you can get anything to draw on the next turn, you're up to 4. Like, it really, really, it gets out of control pretty fast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, I
definitely think I'm gonna have to pick this one up for Calgar.
Yep. Oh,
draw a lot of cards in that.
Of course, right? And especially whenever you make a token, you're drawing as well, right? Like, you're just yeah. The Marnius Calgar deck's very cool. I really, really find we've talked about it a few times, but I really find the investigate mechanic card, you know what I'm talking about, the investigate for the number of creatures.
It is on my list.
You know what? Yeah. I think you're next. Why don't you take that one?
Sure. Yeah, the one he's talking about is Officious Interrogation. White and a blue for an instant. Costs white and blue more to cast for each target beyond the first. Choose any number of target players and investigate X times, where X is the total number of creatures those players control. I think when I did that to you at the convention, it was 41 times.
Yeah.
And investigate is a separate trigger each time. It's different than create X clue tokens.
Yeah, investigate each time. It's I would say it's one of the cards I've seen you enjoy playing the most for the year.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah, every time I have seen you drop that card, you've been having a good time. You've been having a good game. Life's going well.
Yeah, absolutely. And like, even if you get 6 clues out of it, that's still 6 clues you're getting out of it.
Yeah,
it's a lot.
There's a lot of token decks out there, so you're likely to get more. I wouldn't say most of the time, some of the time.
Yeah.
And let's face it, like, even if you use them, like, let's say you're an artifact theme where you sacrifice artifacts, that's like another 6 artifacts you can sacrifice to. So why not?
Exactly.
You have a KCI, sure.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
turn that into some mana.
Yeah, 12 mana. I'm down for that. Granted, how much mana you would have spent that time? Yeah, whatever. Who cares? So, but yeah, no, that, like, when you play that, I'm just like, I gotta find it. I gotta add it to my deck.
Yeah, it is such a good card, and for 2 mana, it can do some absolutely silly things.
And like, how much is that card? It's not that expensive.
53 cents.
Yeah, like 50 cents.
Yeah. So guaranteed House of Cards has it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a fun card.
I like that. I like it a lot. It's very cool.
Yeah. This one is a fun one, I found. I like this one a lot. It's from the Fallout one. It's Yes Man, Personal Securitron. So Yes Man, Personal Securitron is a 2 and a white legendary artifact creature robot. It's a 2/2. You tap it, target opponent gains control of Yes Man, Personal Securitron. When they do, you draw 2 cards and put a quest counter on Yes Man. Activate only during your turn. It has a wild card. When Yes Man leaves the battlefield, its owner creates a tapped 1/1 white soldier creature token for each quest counter on it. So, in my opinion, this is just a better Humble Defector.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody loves Humble Defector, let's face it. Okay, this is just better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a fan.
I definitely agree.
So, we're all about group hug here. This is definitely a group hug card.
Yeah. I like this one. My next one, not a group hug card, but I personally think, at least for me, Art of the Year. And that is Dawn's Truce. Both versions of the card are just so gorgeous. In the video, I'll pop both of them up, but like they're for the storyline when like Maha is getting the egg back from Mabel. That's like the whole storyline of Bloomburrow, as they steal this Calamity Beast's egg to try tame it and have their own Calamity Beast. And the owl is, as a bit of a spoiler to the story, not very happy about it. And
I wonder why.
It's just such cool artwork, especially when you see like how big this giant owl like wrapped around, like it's to me, like I said, it's one of the artworks of the year. And that's just before I even get to the ability of it. And the ability of it is 1 and a white with, again, gift a card. It's always a gift. Bloomburrow was a gift to me. So you can get someone to draw, which again I like to do. You and permanents you control gain hexproof until end of turn. If the gift was promised, permanents you control also gain indestructible until end of turn. And a lot of I like the gift mechanic so much because it's very fun to see people try and win with like a Thassa's Oracle, right? Thassa's Oracle been like the boogeyman for a while, but with their trigger on the stack, gift isn't a targeting ability. You give yourself hexproof, that's fine. I gift you a card. Merry Christmas.
Oh no, you can't draw and you lose the game.
Dead. Yeah. It's I just love the gift mechanic so much for it. But yeah, Dawn's Truce for me is just so good. The you and permanents you control gain hexproof until the turn. And if you promise the gift indestructible, it's a great get out of jail free card. It's I would say probably one of the more powerful cards printed of the year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's a pretty nutty card. What do you got for us, Slothy?
Yeah. Once again, keeping the theme of white cards and Bloomburrow cards going. I've got Parting Gust as my next one. Double white for an instant. You can gift a tapped fish and exile target non-token creature. If the gift wasn't promised, return that creature to the battlefield under its owner's control with a +1/+1 counter on it at the beginning of the next end step. I really like how this can be used both to get rid of something painful or to get an additional ETB on something that you want to bring back. I really like the flexibility of it. I think the tapped fish is kind of funny.
Yeah.
And yeah, I've just been a big fan of this card since it came out. It's also only 70 cents.
Yeah.
Fair. Oh, the silly fish.
Honestly, it's a really cool card.
It's a good card. It is a good card. So it's like the fact that it's like very cheap is really nice.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm next here. And the card I have here is gonna be a red card from Murders at Karloff Manor Commander set again. And it's gonna be Hot Pursuit for 1 in a red. It's an enchantment. When Hot Pursuit enters the battlefield, suspect target creature an opponent controls. As long as Hot Pursuit remains on the battlefield, that creature is also goaded. At the beginning of combat on your turn, if 2 or more players have lost the game, gain control of all goaded and or suspected creatures until end of turn. Untap them, they gain haste until end of turn. Thank you, Wizards, for finally creating something where, if you goad stuff and it's just you and the other person, you can grab it. Because that was one of the biggest issues with a deck based around goad, right? Or forcing the combat in a sense. Is that once it was down to you and one other person, the goad mechanic almost didn't matter, right? Mm-hmm. So most of the time you see strategies where you're taking out one person and then the last 2 opponents at the same time.
Yeah.
You know? And that's difficult. That's really difficult. Having this card makes it so much easier to deal with that stuff. It's fun.
Yeah, you're not wrong. It's a pretty mean card, to be honest. I want my creatures I don't like to share.
Yeah, and like when you have things like what was the commander? It's Naya. Let me look it up real fast. Starts with an M. It's a cat. Maurice, Breaker of the Coil.
Oh yeah.
For instance, right? So it's like you do combat damage, and then every single creature your opponent controls is goaded. Okay. Hey, once it comes to your turn, you get all those creatures.
You get them all back, yeah.
So it's like, hey, there you go. Anyways,
I like this. For me, the next one, obviously, it's not Kellen. It's never Kellen. It's Delny. I don't think Kellen's ever been anyone's favorite card, including Kellen. We have Delny. Delny works for me in so many decks, and I had to put Delny on. Delny's expensive. It's a real expensive card. It's 2 and a white. It's $30. $30. It's got to come down, but it's so good. It's a 2/2 human scout. Creatures you control with power 2 or less can't be blocked by creatures with power 3 or greater, which is wonderful for, again, those like little weenie kind of decks. But it really shines in the if an ability of a creature you control with power 2 or less triggers, that ability triggers an additional time. If you think about it, like for how many cards go silly with that, Giggling Skitterspike that Sherman was talking about earlier is a creature with power under 2. So you'd get a double trigger every time it goes off, right? Like there's so many cards. Homunculus Horde is a creature with power 2 or less. It triggers an additional time. The Heir Apparent, Frank, one of the guys we met at Face to Face, made a Heir Apparent deck and was going to do Mother of Machines, but went with this one. And now all of those Heir Apparents just trigger again and again and again. It seems mean. I'm very excited to play against it. But yeah, no, Delny I think is probably the most expensive card of the year that I have on the list, and it's again, just for me, it does so many things in decks that I've been just having a lot of fun with, right? Like I really like ETBs, so it's so easy to make just a really, really like low to the ground ETB deck. Again, like if you have like your Soul Warden kind of life gain theme of creatures entering, gaining life, gaining 2 life instead of 1 is really, really cool. Making it so your low to the ground clerics can't be blocked Like, if Delny was Orzhov, it would be one of my like most built commanders, I think.
Oh, 100%.
Could you imagine Bant Delny? Just give me green, give me blue, give me... take me back. We can fix it. We can fix it with a Sharpie.
They should have made it more colors than just mono white, just to make it more limited in what decks they would go in, because it's so strong.
Yeah, well, you're not wrong. It's there's a lot of decks that just want this card. It's just a powerhouse upgrade if you can afford one or if you happen to pull one. It's just a phenomenal card, and if you don't have one, then it's okay. Like, it's not going to break the bank or anything. It's not gonna like, your deck won't be ruined without it. But it just there's so many deck themes that could have really, really shone great with like something like this this trigger ability instead of just being stuck in mono white. Sadly,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, truth be told, when I see someone that plays like Delmy or like any card that's like expensive, especially like this, they're like my number one target for most of the game, because I know they're packing a lot of heat.
When you have a $30 commander in the command zone, it's kind of hard to just be like, oh, I'm actually playing it. You know, like if you're willing to spend $30 on the first card people see, you probably have some cool stuff in the deck.
Mm-hmm.
Not me. It's all junk for me, but other people probably have some cool stuff.
Junk is fun, let's face it.
True.
What do you got for us, Slothy?
All right. From the Outlaws of Thunder Junction Recon, I've got Vihan Goldwaker. Red, white, black for a 3/3 legendary dwarf warlock. Other outlaws you control have vigilance and haste. For those who might have forgotten, a warlock is an assassin, mercenary, pirate, rogue, or warlock. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you may have treasures you control become 3/3 construct, assassin, artifact creatures in addition to their other types until end of turn. As I was reading that, I realized I just really like to bonk people with tokens that shouldn't be able to bonk people between this and Calgar. But yeah, I was a massive fan of this when it came out in the Olivia Precon. I just think that with how rampant treasures have been getting, there's a lot of options to, while still kind of fall under the theme, have it be fairly unique.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just really fun to bonk people with gold.
Yeah. Like, I remember when you did the deck tech of this, and both Daniel and I were like, Slothy, you need to calm down. Like, you have like 12 different win cons, and you're like, okay, well, now that you say it that way, I guess it's kind of mean.
Yeah.
like you went like you didn't notice how hard you went in that deck tech. But you went and created, and then like Daniel and I both pointed it out, and we're just like counting how many win cons, and you're like, okay, I get it, fellas, I get it.
Sorry, my brain stopped working. Slothy, what was that card? I didn't even put it on the list.
Vihan.
Which one?
Vihan. Vihaan.
Yeah, I was just listening. I was like, wow, like, he really likes this card. It's such cool. And then I was like, wait a minute, I was supposed to be typing. Yeah, Vihan was very cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's one that I feel like at this point is pretty future proof, just with how much they've been printing treasure cards.
Yeah, it's not going anywhere.
Yeah, at least for the next while, you can just keep swapping stuff out and having it work just fine.
It's just going to get better as time goes on because of that, right? So like some commanders, like after some time, they kind of lose their spark or their power and everything. Vihan is one of them where like it will either stay steady or go up because of the fact that treasures and food tokens and clue tokens are becoming more rampant, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's sort of like Brea, right? Brea's just gotten stronger because of all these tokens coming out and all the spells that generate tokens.
Yeah.
So, and because of that, it just became more popular. Brutaclad, same deal, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, Brutaclad's
I totally
in a great spot.
Oh yeah, 100%. Should we do one more round or?
One or two more rounds. We got a few minutes.
All right. Let's see. Oh, we have so many cards to choose from. You know what? Let's choose this one. So shout out to my friend Dustin who plays this and he loves this commander. It's going to be Zamone, Mystery Unraveler. Okay. It is one of the precons from Duskmorn. Okay. Zamone, Mystery Unravelers. 2 and a green and a blue. It's a 3/3 legendary creature, human wizard. It has landfall. Whenever a land you control enters, manifest dread if it's the first time this ability has resolved this turn. Otherwise, you may turn a permanent you control face up. This commander, okay, is brutal. Holy smokes! Like, having someone like flip over a massacre worm. Just from playing like in Evolving Wilds is brutal. So it's such a fun commander. Like watching him go off everything. I've never seen him not go off whenever he plays this, and like I've seen other people play it like on like YouTube and whatnot, or like in person when we're in like the face-to-face event and whatnot. Like it goes off. It does not stop. You push the pedal down and you keep going.
Zamone has lots of very cool combos too.
Oh, so many. So many.
But the one I really, really like is the Eudora. So if you have Eudora out, whenever another non-token creature you control dies, you can turn it face down under its owner's control. It's a forest. Yeah. And Zamone's second ability is whenever a land you control enters, Manifest Dread, that's the first time. Otherwise, you may turn a permanent you control face down up. So you get Sakura Tribe Elder. So you sack Sakura Tribe Elder for a land. You Sakura Tribe Elder comes back in. You tap it for whatever, like you tap it for the green. Then you use Zamone's ability to flip it up. You sacrifice it and you just keep it going.
Yeah,
it's a really, really cool, combo. You can also do that with like things like a Altar of Dementia. Sack a creature, target player puts a number. Yeah, so you can just like full mill people. It's Zamone has some monster combos in it.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's a fun card.
It's really, really funny. Connor, my brother, he's like, I'm gonna get a Zamone deck. I want a precon to play, and then he played it. I think maybe once, and then was like, well, I'm gonna put like $1,000 of upgrades into it, and he just went insane with like his just crazy land base. It's like full combo. But the fun part about it is, although it's like full of like these like crazy powerful pieces, you don't have to play it that way. It's still a cool deck with just the face down, so he can kind of power it to whatever he is playing the table. Because you don't need to, just because you have a Sakura Tribe Elder infinite mana combo doesn't mean you need to use a Sakura Tribe infinite mana combo.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. You don't always have to go balls to the wall on everything.
Yeah, you don't have to stomp people at the LGS.
For my next one, I wish I could put 5 cards on, and picking only one of them is so difficult. I love the season mechanic, so good, where you choose the 5 paws, worth the modes, the season, the burrow, weaving, the bold, gathering, loss. It's so good. But if I have to pick one of them, if I can only have one on the list, at least in one spot, it's got to be Season of Weaving. I have enjoyed playing Season of Weaving so much. Every time I've cast it, I've had a wonderful time. I think that its modes are phenomenal. I think its cost is fair for what you get, and it's like a more balanced Psych Rift that doesn't hurt everyone. But it's 4 double blue. You choose 5 paws. So for 1, you can draw a card. So floor of the card is draw 5 cards. Not a terrible card. For 2, you can choose an artifact or creature you control, create a token that's a copy of it. Again, if you just have extra mana sitting around, you have like a Gilded Lotus out. Now you've got 3 Gilded Lotus, right? That's pretty great. It's pretty wonderful. Or again, your token copies of things. And then for 3, you return each non-land, non-token permanent to its owner's hand. I play this one a ton in Arena still. Like it's just a wonderful card. But I really, really like it. If you a lot of token style decks are going to run something like this for that copy. And it is really nice to, again, make a copy and then blink everything not token to hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just, the season cards for me were just pretty phenomenal. I think it's really, really cool that in most of the cards' artwork, they're fighting the Calamity Beasts or hiding from the Calamity Beasts. Oh, I'm a big fan.
Bloomburrow was so good.
Bloomburrow was so good.
Such a good set.
Bring me back.
Storyline.
Bring me back. Those mice need me. What do you got for us, Slothy?
Ooh, I got which one do I want to do? Let's do this one. Next up, I've got Annie Joins Up. This is from Outlaws. It is 1 red, green, white for a legendary enchantment. When Annie Joins Up enters the battlefield, it deals 5 damage to target creature or planeswalker an opponent controls. Doesn't matter. If a triggered ability of a legendary creature you control triggers, that ability triggers an additional time. That one does matter. This card is ridiculously silly in my Doctor deck.
I bet it is.
It is bonkers.
Yeah, the whole deck is legendary.
Exactly. And like they're just printing so many legendary creatures in general.
Yeah.
Having another thing to kind of double up that trigger is always welcome, in my opinion.
Yeah. It's that's a good one. It's the beginning one doesn't even need to be there, and I would still play it at that cost.
100%.
It's a doubling.
Let's hit one more round. Sherman, what are you thinking for your final favorite? Right. Again, these aren't in any order. We haven't been like, well, I've got a but if you get one more, what's on the list for one more?
Yeah, we got to do one more, or else we'll be talking about this forever. You know what? Let's go with this one. Watchful Rad Stag from the Fallout. So it's a 2 and a green creature, elk, mutant, 2/2. It has evolved. So whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, if that creature has greater power or toughness than this creature, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. Whenever Watchful Rad Stag evolves, create a token that's a copy of it. This card is really, really, really bonkers in a blink deck.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, or flicker, or whatever you want to call it. What's up, Thunder? How's it going? Anyway, so whenever let's say you have like a Displacer Kitten out or something like that, and you bounce something, if you bounce something that's like greater than a 2/2, okay, you evolve and you create another a Rag Stag, and you keep on going, and it gets out of control so quickly without even doing anything but doing what your strategy is. And in all honesty, most of the time when you do this, you just dirtle. So like something that Daniel knows quite well.
It's all I do. It's all I do, baby.
Yeah, you just sit back. It's like, okay, I feel bad if I attack with these 40 like 4/4s because that's how big they I had them at, or like 5/5s or whatever. So I'll just pass and just watch it keep on going, because every time you bounce something, hey, it just doubles or triples or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's a really fun card. It's not that expensive. It's pretty cheap. You can find really cheap copies of this. So, like normally they're under $1. They might be $1.50. I think there's some that are foils and everything, or whatnot. So those are gonna be more expensive. But yeah, it's a really, really fun card.
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
We gotta obviously pay homage to Nadu. Nadu should be on the list of best cards, but not favorite cards. No, for me it's a card that I didn't really have respect for until I saw a deck made by Slothy. And as he said in the deck, you gotta do it to him. I pick Lava Spur Boots. Lava Spur Boots are so good. So good. From the Felix 5 boots is where I saw this the first time and actually paid it attention. And it is a 1-mana equipment. Equipped creature gets 1/0 haste and ward 1 for equipped 1. I love it.
That ward 1. Oh, so annoying.
Yeah. Ward 1. Even realistically, even if it didn't have the Ward 1, I still would play it and think that it's all right for what it is.
1-0 haste at 1 is still pretty great, but I just
Yep.
I think it's been just a playable card. I find myself in deck techs I do like more of like my silly kind of decks, right? But in ones where I'm actually trying to like crack people, Lava Spur Boots is in the list.
Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta absolutely bonk people quickly. I've got Lava Spur Boots in my Lumra deck so that I can really smash people.
Fair.
Yeah, Lava Spur Boots, phenomenal.
This one's real funny in the Mind Skinner.
Oh, I bet it is.
Turn 3, you can all mill $11 or 11 cards.
The way I build it's not even $11. And what do you got for what's the finale card, Slothy? Make it good. I know it's Kellen. I know it's Kellen.
Yeah, actually we got Kellen joins up.
I'd throw up.
No, I'm just kidding. It's a backup commander from Duskmourn. It is the Lord of Pain.
Oh. Yeah.
3 black and a red for a 5/5 legendary human assassin. It's got menace. Your opponents can't gain life. And whenever a player casts their first spell each turn, choose another target player. Lord of Pain deals damage equal to that spell's mana value to the chosen player.
If you ever want a fast game.
Yeah, the Lord of Pain puts in work. I've actually had a ton of fun. I've seen you and our friend Emery plays that pre-con as well. Mm-hmm. And I think the Lord of Pain has just been a really, really cool deck to see play out.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun to play, and the deck, like straight out of the box, is phenomenal.
I didn't have much respect for a lot of the sets of the year, so like I didn't really look at it, but I think I might want to pick that one up. It was the Duskmourn Commanders did a pretty good job.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like it. I also really love the breakdown of our list prices here. It's for my list, it's 8 cards, $58. Sherman, 8 cards, $23. Slothy, 8 cards, $18.
Let's go.
Damn it,
Not
Delny.
bad. Not bad at all.
Damn it, Delny. Oh, it's actually really funny. Our favorite cards of the year come out to $100. $100.38.
Oh wow.
That's not bad. That's not bad at all.
We're on that budget list all day, every day.
But that's the thing. Like the more we keep on like building budget decks and playing budget, the more fun we're having, and more we look at cards like that, right?
Yeah.
Like Delmy is the only exception, but really overall, when you think about it, it's just more fun when you play budget. More interactions. Yeah. Like games are they don't take a long time, but like at the same time, like your turns tend not to be so long. Unless you're playing like, something where it's combo intensive.
I think that when you lower your budget, you have to raise your own skill set of what it is. You can't just rely on, I have the best cards, so it's always going to be good. You have to politics, you have to talk to the table, and you have to kind of look for cards, like Slothy was saying, with like a party gust, right? You've got to look for those cards that give you that utility, right? If you're playing within that constraint, it's nice to have those extra answers. And I love being hit by a card. One of the things for the year, I have to say for the year, is I was playing with one of the guys in Rogue's Passage, Brando. And we were playing, he had a Miram deck. And I was playing my like Selvala Angels deck. And it's a powerful deck. It's a powerful deck. That deck is usually my I'm winning the game deck. And he hit me with Sleep. He just played the card Sleep, or just put a stun counter on with it, put me right to bed. I was fuming. I was looking at that. I was like, this card regulation? Make this card? It was target player taps all their creatures. It was one of the most disrespectful things I've ever seen. I barely lived.
Sleep is a card you will get a 100% pull rate in those little dollar store packs of cards.
Oh, I bet you will, yeah.
Yeah. So true.
That's hilarious.
It's that one hurt me pretty deeply. It's like I said, I still remember that to this day. It was a hurtful experience for me. the attempt on my life left me scarred. But yeah, that's I like where we're at and stuff now. I want to say thank you for everyone who did listen so far. I want to know kind of what other people's favorite cards of the year were, because so many. Trying to pick a number of cards, it's impossible. There's like 50 sets this year, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think
we could spend a whole day talking about cards, so
I could spend a whole day talking about why I don't like Kellen. And I think there's 4 Kellens this year. Like, it's,
I'm going to make a Kellen deck.
I would love to see it. You'd be the first person, number 1 rank on Architect. Wizard just giving you, like, you're getting mental health updates. Like, are you okay? There's other cards, right?
Kellen all the way. Kellen all the way.
I'm sure some people have really cool Kellen decks. I've just never seen one and couldn't conceptualize one because I don't like the card. In any form, they just all seem so weird. There's no, like, identity to it. Like, is this an equipment commander? Is it an event? I don't know. We're not going to go into a Kellen rant. But yeah,
whatever your heart desires it to be.
Ugh,
I'll make it a theme deck too. I'll make it a jank deck too.
Dollar rare.
I'll make it extra hard. Anyways,
I roll us here. Thank you guys so much for getting to the end of our lovely favorite card list. If you want to pick any of these up, houseofcards.ca, promo code IT99 is going to be the best place to go get them. Supports us, helps you get great cards. If you like what we're doing, like, share, subscribe. It really does help us out. We like doing this. We like to talk. I just like to get together with my friends, talk Magic. So, it makes it easier if people see it more, then more people come talk with us. So come do that. If you want to go above and beyond, come to Patreon. Great spot to come build decks, play things. We're going to be doing more streaming and everything soon too. I've got interesting news, so we'll save it until I have it all good. But there's interesting news afoot. And yeah, thank you guys so much for listening. I want to know what your favorite cards of the year were. Like, leave a comment, let me know, because I probably have the wrong favorite cards, right? But Bloomburrow was so good. I tried to be fair and not only Bloomburrow, but I could have filled this list. This could have been a 6-hour list of cards I liked from Bloomburrow, and it would just be me individually reading and talking about every card. Yeah. That's it.
Also, let us know why Altenac is actually secretly one of the greatest commanders of all time.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I gotta try beep that. If you guys hear me swearing on the episode, you'll know that I've forgotten to edit properly. Thank you guys for getting through it. AI Armor sleeves, if you're building any of these decks, they're great. And other than that, yeah, I hope everyone has a great rest of the week. And I hope next year brings us a lot of really cool cards too. I'm not optimistic right now, so I hope we see cool stuff. That's it.
All right, laters.
Bye-bye.